Hello there. Hello. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, this place where I help you make sense of making money online. Hopefully, I am right on time for my fellow Webby women entrepreneurs out there looking to get clear about building your best business online. So, today I want to have a conversation with you around two things: how to catch up, number one, and number two, how to create amazing. I believe that this is the perfect time of year for us to have a conversation around the things you need to do to get back on track, especially for my entrepreneurial spirits out there who feel like they're behind. When the kiddies go back to school, one of my common conversations, especially at this point in the year, is how to get back on track and get back to business. So we're going to really make this a timely conversation around just that. And again, the focus for today is how to catch up and create amazing. So, hello, June. Welcome, my dear. Definitely feel free to share if you are finding that this conversation about getting on track and catching up is something that other entrepreneurial spirits in your circle need to hear. So, number one, feel free to share or tag somebody who needs to hear this. And of course, number two, make sure that if you are watching the replays, drop the hashtag replays rock into the comment box, because I want to make sure that I can check in and shout you out and say hello to you too, especially for those of you watching the replays. So, okay, around this conversation of catching up, I wanted to do this because, again, like I mentioned before, it's timely when the kids go back to school and we're transitioning from the summertime and vacation and fun, getting back serious and getting back to work. Having this space where you feel like you need to catch up, where you feel like you're behind, having this conversation is so important. So today's focus word is share. And I'm going to talk to you about 3 different things that you need to be sharing so that you can feel like you are catching up and getting up to speed with respect to what you want to do with your vision, your goals, and your online business. I see June says, I so need this, which is perfect. Hopefully this is a timely message, because that's actually one of the first things that I want to talk to you about as well. So, SHARE, number one. If you are in a space where you need to catch up, the first thing that I want you to consider is sharing a timely word of encouragement with your audience. This is really important. So when you are jumping in to the web and you're just jumping in on a conversation that resonates, that is of importance and significance to the people that you wish to serve, that's a smart way to kind of interject yourself in without feeling like, oh, where does she come from? What's she talking about, right? Who is she, right? When you are very conscious of what you need to say to the people that you need to serve, that's going to help people feel like, where was I? How come I didn't know this person before? Or how come I haven't been following her consistently? Because you're jumping in on a timely note. So the first thing I said to you is, remember this conversation around the kids going back to school. For me, when I have the back to school conversation, it's in timely manner of having also the back to business, get back on track conversation with my community. What is a timely conversation that you can have with your audience right now? Okay, so if you can think of something, feel free to drop it into the box, whether you're watching the replay or watching live. What's a timely conversation that you can have with your audience right now? It's so interesting that I see you here, June, because I feel like you are working on your live stream interaction with your audience. And I feel like a few days ago, if not a week or so ago, you talked about Marcus Garvey, his birthday, and being in a space where you had some motivational, encouraging words around that, right? And that's timely because you're connecting it to something that is giving honor and homage to someone who is so amazing, right, is so amazing with respect to Black empowerment and consciousness, which is something that you focus on in your business. That's a timely conversation, right? Yes. So I want you to think about for yourself, what kind of timely conversations should you be having with your audience right now? So for me, when it comes to this conversation around getting back on track, catching up is a part of that. Feeling behind is a part of that. So me having this web class with you allows me to jump in a way that's going to resonate, not necessarily with everybody in my circle, but with the right bodies who feel like, yes, LaShanda, I really need to get back on track. I really need to do this. So first thing that I want you again to consider is, how can you share in a timely way a word of encouragement with your audience? Now, today I'm doing a live stream web class. That isn't necessarily the only thing that you can do. Consider that maybe you've already created something that touches on this new thing in amazing ways. I'm going to give you an example of that. Yesterday, I launched my Catch Up Creating Amazing series. It's a collection of resources that I've been putting together to help people who feel like they're behind and they're struggling get back up to speed, right? And write this down. CUCA. CU stands for Catch Up. CA stands for Create Amazing. So if you go to sistasense.com/CUCA, you'll be able to see some of the resources that I've created around this particular conversation, right? Now, the first thing that I did was I went inside my memory box and I said, okay, LaShanda, I know that every year you talk about getting back on track and doing what you need to do to be productive. Find one of those great goods and use that to springboard the conversation. So yesterday I shared a video that I uploaded onto YouTube, and it's called How to Work on Your Content Creation Goals and Get Back on Track. So it's an amazing daily direction series. It's actually, I did a series of audio podcasts, and then I turned them into videos so that not only I could have them on iTunes, but then I could also have them on my YouTube channel as well. Side note, I'll talk a little bit more about some smart things you can do to repurpose your content in a bit, but the first thing that I did was go back to my memory bank and say, okay, if this is the conversation, what have you already created to immediately serve your audience in that space, okay? And thank you for dropping that in the comment box. Yes, June, sistasense.com/CUCA, Catch Up, Create Amazing. The resources that I share, you can find them there, okay? So it's interesting about that because immediately when I sent out that message, ladies started to email me and say, oh my goodness, this is so perfect. This is right on time. So again, sharing a timely message with your audience is a great way for you to catch up and have people feel like you're just right on time versus being behind. Okay. This morning, Terry, one of the beautiful spirits in my circle, she sent me a voice message and she said, you know what, I'm about to jump on my prayer line, but before I did, I was listening to your audio on how to catch up and get back on track. I really needed this. I just want to send blessings and encouragement and abundance your way. You're just so amazing. You're helping us. You're pushing us. You're challenging us women entrepreneurs, and I appreciate you. How amazing is that? Before she got on her prayer line, she sent me this prayer message, and it was the first message that I heard in the morning. And I had to say, I sent her a message right back, and I said, you know what? Being somebody who serves, and if you serve, you can drop that in the comment box. You can let me know. Yes, I serve too. Being someone who serves, it's so common for you to serve and serve and serve and give 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 to the point where you feel depleted, to the point where you feel like you're pouring into so many people so much that you don't have much left for yourself, right? Or you don't have much left for your kids or your spouse. It's so common. And so when you are in these spaces where people pour back into you and said, bless you, thank you, I appreciate you, keep doing what you do, sis, because we need this. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, one of the things that I share, you know, Simon Says, I've got this thing called Sister Sense Says. One of my sage lessons learned is that you always have to have something to S. Always have something to say, always have something to share, and always have something to sell. As an entrepreneur, if you just saying and sharing and not selling, you're not making no money. So let's be honest, honey. You got to have a combination of all three. Always have something to say, to share, and to sell. Okay? But when I say that, I say this: being in a space where you consistently are sharing, that's going to create a space where not only are you pouring into other people, but they're pouring right back into you too. And I take every single blessing so seriously, because for me, the only reason that I'm here consistently doing what I am doing is because by the grace of God, my blessings keep coming down. So I want you to think about what's one timely, relevant message that you can share with your audience, whether you are creating something right now or you're going back into your inventory of amazing things that you've created before and sharing that good with your community now. Hi, Mentor Shelly. Welcome, my dear. So, of course, remember, if you're watching live, I want you to share one timely, relevant word of encouragement that you are going to give to your audience today. It could be you sharing a text message, you doing a web class, you going back to your memory bank and pulling out a video or a worksheet or something that's encouraging that you can present to your audience and say, listen, I see you, I hear you, I get you, I want to support you. I see you, I hear you, I get you, and I want to support you. So in that space, I decided that as part of the get back on track conversation, because that's what I do when the kiddies go back to school, I talk about how you can get back on track and get back to business. I want to talk about catching up, because so many entrepreneurs feel behind. And you can real talk let me know. Do you feel behind right now? Because there are 3 types of things you need to share. And I'm going to talk about the other 2 in just a second. But the first thing, if you want to catch up and get back into the conversation, share a timely word of encouragement with your audience that resonates with them right now. So honestly, even though you may feel like you're a little late, you're right on time because you are joining a relevant conversation, right? Join a relevant conversation right now. What can you create and share? A word of encouragement, okay? So that's the first thing. Number 2, I want you to share with yourself and possibly even with me the place you are supposed to be. So what does that mean? The place you're supposed to be. Where is there? When you feel like you've got to catch up and a couple of people are saying, me, I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I need to catch up. When you're on the web, a part of social media gives us this triggering feeling of urgency, like this need to do something, to say something, to be somewhere. And a part of that is because you're constantly looking at other people moving. You're constantly looking at other people moving, and you're feeling like either you're stuck or standing still because you're like, man, they're doing this and she's doing that and he's doing that, and what the hell am I doing? I'm behind, right? At the highest possible octave, I'm behind, right? That urgency feeling. What you need to do if you feel like you need to catch up is you need to literally slow down, reconnect with yourself, and answer the question, where the hell is there? Where exactly are you supposed to be that you feel like you're behind right now? I'm loving the hearts and the love, by the way. Thank you so much for that. Again, sharing is completely caring, so feel free to share this session if you feel like what I'm sharing is something that people in your circle need to hear. Not enough. You're feeling like there's not enough time, that you're not getting enough done. What is that? What does that mean for you, right? So let's talk about this idea of where is there. First of all, one of my favorite quotes is, stay in your lane, won't be no traffic. So if you feel like you need to catch up to other people, number 1, stay in your lane. There's no traffic when you stay in your lane. When you try to get into somebody else's lane and to covet what they have and to be where they are, then you're going to start having problems. So if you feel like you're behind based on other people, know that other people is not your concern, because their bank account has nothing to do with your bills. You got to be consistent about doing what you need to do. So where behind needs to be you taking a good look at where you want to be, not where they are, not where he or she is, but where you want to be. For me, the first thing that you need to do is to stick to the original plan. I did a web class on that last week. I did an accountability call on that last week. You have to stick to the plan. Either you had an original plan or you don't have a plan and you need to work on one, or you need to update the plan that you have, 1, 2, or 3. The plan is the place that you need to be. Where is there as far as your plan for yourself? Where are you supposed to be in life? Where are you supposed to be in your business? Where are you supposed to be with your clients and customers? Are you supposed to be on a beach right now sipping pina coladas, listening to reggae music? Where are you supposed to be right now based on your definition on where there is? Okay? Because if you want to catch up, first of all, you got to realize if you're being triggered just by a feeling of social media urgency, I talk about that perception of perfection, you feeling bad about yourself because you're like, man, everybody's got it together and I'm so a hot mess. No, we need to change that. That is not the conversation you're supposed to be having. Your conversation needs to focus on where you specifically want to be based on, number one, your plan for yourself. That's number one. Number two, I have something called the New Normal Life Design Guide. And I pulled it out so that I can have this conversation with you around planning, because one of the things that I talk about in the New Normal Life Design Guide is you being able to think about your personal versus your professional goals. Now, when it comes to the original plan, you need to sit down and say, listen, this is the stuff that I said I wanted to start. This is what I need to complete. This is what I need to continue. It ain't no more complicated than that, boo. I'm sorry to tell you, you overthinking. If you making this harder than it needs to be, that's where your problem lies. When you need to catch up, what do I need to start? What do I need to complete? What do I need to continue? This is the New Normal Life Design Guide, the steps that I've taken to create new normals in my life and the process that I've written down to help other entrepreneurial spirits do the same. Hello, Jason. Oh, awesome. It's so good to have you here. Break it on down, sis. Listen, that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. Boom, drop the mic, right? It's so good to see you, my friend. Being in a space where if you say you have to catch up, you're getting clear about the original plan that you've created for yourself that you're going to work towards. That's the most important part. Now, I'm going to say this because this conversation is around catching up and creating amazing. And I have basically put together quite a few of the resources that I've been developing over the last few years. I've put them together so that you can essentially create your own catch-up kit. I mentioned the resource page to you before. I'm going to drop that in the comment box for you again right now. If somebody live watching or via the replay can do that for me, that would be great. It is CUCA. So when you go to sistasense.com/CUCA, which stands for Catch Up, Create Amazing, you'll be able to see some of the resources that I'm talking about today. Literally right now, the New Normal Life Design Guide, which is an audio series and workbook, is $10. Literally today, my Stop Procrastinating Challenge, it's a 28-day series, is $10. I've created a lot of different resources and trainings that I've sat down and said, you know what? I want to make sure that I can help you work on your plan, maintain your momentum, get back on track. And so I've taken the time to take a look at all of these empowering, encouraging, strategic, intentional trainings that I've put together and share that as part of the catch-up kit on sistasense.com/CUCA, catch up and create amazing. I say that to say this. The first thing that I said to you as far as you catching up is to consider what word of encouragement that's timely that you can share with your audience. That was number one. The second thing that I said to you is if you want to catch up right now, you've got to answer the question, well, where are you behind? Where are you supposed to be right now that you're not there yet, right? So either you go back and look at the original plan, number one, or number two, you work on creating a new one. Inside of the New Normal Life Design Guide workbook, I ask you a lot of questions about what you can do to start improving your plans right now. And the simplest questions you can start asking yourself is, what do I need when it comes to the original plan for myself? What do I need to start? What do I need to continue? And what do I need to complete? So for me, every single day, I focus on different types of tasks. So let's talk about tasks, because as part of the catch-up kit, I have in there the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge. And in that challenge, every day, I share little things that you can do to strategically chip away at your goals and your tasks, right? Now, as part of that, I call these Procrastinating Pro personalities. And one of those personalities is Someday Simone. Someday Simone, I love her, God bless her. But she's challenged when it comes to being productive and always feels behind, because Someday Simone always chooses someday versus today. Someday I'm going to get there. Someday I'm going to try this. Someday I'm going to start that. Because in her mind, she believes that there's going to be a perfect time that's just going to fall from the sky so that she can get things done. And the reality is that you can't wait for the time, but rather you have to make the time to be the kind of productive person that you want to be. Unfortunately, a lot of Someday Simones out there end their lives full of regret because someday never comes. That perfect time that you can carve out for yourself never comes. So what you've got to do is you've got to challenge your inner Someday Simone so that you can work on things that are going to help you do something today that your future self will thank you for. So for me, when it comes to sticking to the plan, number one, I identify what the plan is. And then number two, I do one thing to chip away at that. So let me talk about that personally, some things that I've done, and then use those personal strategies to help encourage you to figure out what you can do. Sound fair? Sound good? Okay. So I think about, okay, LaShanda, what is it that you said you were going to do? And what do you need to continue to do? I said, okay, LaShanda, well, guess what? It's back to business time. Your Back to Business virtual conferences every year in October. So what do you need to do to stick to the plan and work on that? That's number one. Number two, I said, okay, LaShanda, guess what? You're in a space where a lot of people are coming to you and saying, LaShanda, I need to start my online business. Okay, where's that online business bundle that you were putting together, right? I said, okay, LaShanda, you said that you're going to help people with procrastination and you're committed to helping people with building your confidence. So what are you creating? Go back to that original plan. Do those things. I always tell people you're confused, not because you don't know what to do, but you won't do what you know. Oh, I don't know what to do today. No, you do know what to do today. You're supposed to get ready for the virtual conference. You're supposed to finish the Start Business Now. You're supposed to put that bundle together. You're supposed to consistently be doing your live streams. You know what you're supposed to do. But you're getting caught up in a space where either you are Someday Simone in it, right? You someday say, oh, I'm going to do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. You Someday Simone in it, right? Or you feeling like you're behind based on what you see in other people doing, not realizing or understanding that their everyday motion has nothing to do with you. You got to have your own everyday motion. Doing at least one thing that you say, yes, I did that. I chipped away at that. I finished that. I'm done. Move on to the next thing. So remember, I said to you at www.sistersense.com/CUCA, that's where you're going to find some of the resources that I've put together to share with you some of these things in more detail. So you'll find literally for right now, I can't say forever, but for right now, you'll find the 28-day Stop Procrastinating Challenge, $10. Literally for right now, you'll find the New Normal workbook, the printable version of the workbook, plus the audio series, How to Create the New Normals in Your Life, $10. You'll find the 31 ways to stop procrastinating and maintain your momentum, my 31-day Maintain Your Momentum series, $10. Why? Because I said to myself, LaShanda, this is the back on track, back to business time. How are you going to kick off back to business this year? I'm going to help people get clear, especially my people who say, girl, I'm behind and I need to catch up for real. For real. So for those of you watching right now, I want you to take a minute and answer some of these questions for yourself, right? The first question I said to you is that I need you to share one timely word of encouragement with your audience so that you're staying relevant, so that you are being consistent, so that you are showing up. Patient, present, persistence. Drop that in the comment box. Patient, present, persistence. You have to be patient when it comes to you preparing for the opportunities you wish to come into your life. You have to be persistent. You can't drop the ball. You got to consistently do what you need to do on a consistent basis, and you got to be present. If you hiding behind and you looking at what everybody else is doing, but nobody can look at you, you're not preparing for the opportunities you want to bring into your life. In order for you to create amazing, and for me, some degree of amazing is the success that you want for yourself. In order for you to create a degree of success that you want for yourself, you have to be patient, present, and persistent. All three. So share a word of encouragement with your audience today to make sure that you are in the mix. And as an entrepreneur, when I say share, I always say you always have something to share, something to say, and something to sell. So literally, when you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, that is the trifecta. Because I am sharing with you, absolutely free. I have an audio training on how you can get back on track, right? Share something. I am saying to you, if you feel that you're behind, here are some practical things that you can do to move forward. And real talk, I'm selling to you, because as an entrepreneur, I do have challenges and courses and audios and workbooks that you can get access to help you do the very things that I am sharing with you. Always have something to say, always have something to sell, always have something to share. If you are an entrepreneurial spirit who want to make sure that you're not behind, but you're right on time with respect to your audience. So you'll see that for me, I will consistently create these pages where I will share resources that you can just tap into just to get to know me and glean and learn something from me, absolutely free. Because in and of that self, that consistency is value. And then, of course, I will share other resources that are relevant so that if there is something that you need, if you want to get the New Normal Guide or the Stop Procrastinating Challenge or 31 Ways to Maintain Your Momentum, those are resources that are available to you at the click. Because here's the deal. Don't assume anything about anyone. Oh, people don't want to buy anything from Ree right now, so all I can do is share free. I don't want to put stuff out there and people say that that's too expensive. Don't assume anything about anybody, because there's something that, generally speaking, there's something for everybody. So I try to diversify and give people an opportunity to get what they need based on where they are. And you've got to think about that too. How are you going to serve different people based on where they are? So I said to you, literally, when you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, you'll see some of the resources that I'm sharing with you today, like the Stop Procrastinating 28-Day Challenge, the New Normal Life Design Guide and audio series, plus a few other things. And they're $10. You'll also see something that I've recently launched. It's called Look, Learn, Launch, Done With You program. So let me talk about that for a second. There are a lot of things that I do. I'm a web designer. I mentor entrepreneurs. I provide you with DIY, things that you can do for yourself. How do you say that? Do it yourself? I provide do-it-yourself solutions for those out there looking to get clear about their money, marketing, and sales online. Then I provide DFY, which is done for you solutions. I'm a web designer. So if you say, LaShanda, can you build it for me? Do it for me. Done for you services. This year, I am revving up my programs with this new experience, and I call DWY, Done With You. Why am I doing this? Because in coming back to this conversation around getting back on track, there are ladies in my circle who say, listen, I need accountability. I need support. I need hand-holding. I feel like nothing is quite done yet. I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like I get excited today and then I'm not excited tomorrow. Help me. Help me. And so just not give me a DIY training. Just not give me a done for you service. I need you to do it with me, so that I can rub on you and you can love on me and it could get done, right? So I've put together, right, the DWY experience so that clients can essentially work with me to create their amazing. What does that look like? I wish I had it for you. I should have brought it downstairs. Right now I'm working on the second issue of the Caribbean Health and Wellness magazine for one of my clients. He says, LaShanda, I need you to do this magazine for me, and that's what I'm doing for him. For the last few years, not only do I have my own self-published magazine, but I help clients create their own, right? So like if you want your own magazine and you're on the cover, Oprah style, we can do that. E-courses. As you know, I'm a challenge girl, so I'm always creating challenges or e-courses. I quickly create content. So those are some things that I can help do with you. Right? You know, I love that I see one of my clients here, June, and we work together one-on-one for quite some time now, being in a space where I can help her process and put together her courses and challenges. It's just what I do, right? So I created the Look, Learn, Launch Done With You program so that you can raise your hand and say, LaShanda, here's a project I want to work on. Let's do this bad boy together. So your great ideas, your content, all the stuff you're writing down in your notebook, plus my web skills, my tech skills, my graphic design skills, pool together so you can get it done. When you go to sistersense.com/CUCA, look for the Done With You content creation programs, also known as Look, Learn, Launch. Now, that starts at $497 and it goes up to $1988. So literally, ladies can sign up for either one project or a maximum of 4 projects that they work with me over the course of anywhere between 30 to 90 days. Now, I said to you, when you go to CUCA, you'll see that there are resources there that are literally $10. I can't say forever, but for right now, there are a few resources there that are $10. But there are also resources there that you can opt into for $497 up to $1,988, right? Don't assume anything. Don't assume that people only can afford $1 or $5 or $10. Don't assume that there are people out there who don't want you to serve them at a higher level, at a higher price point, because you're like, they can't afford it, they won't pay for it. You want to catch up and create amazing? Make sure that you are sharing to a diverse audience. Make sure that you are committed to giving people your best at a level that serves them and works for you too. So the first thing I said to you is share a word of encouragement. Could be something that you created before or something that you put out there right now. So right now I'm doing this live stream web class. This is something new for you. Yesterday I shared a video on how to work on your content goals plus how to get back on track. I made that video a year ago, but it's evergreen content. It's still valuable content. I have ladies who are new to me listening to that audio series today going, this is exactly what I needed. Yeah. Right? So you've got to think about for yourself, are you putting some of that good that you created before out here right now so that you are staying relevant? You want to catch up because you feel like you're behind? Find some of your best older content that's sitting there that nobody can hear or see and put it right back out there. Put it right back out there. So I'm actually in the process of not only sharing some of my best good content that I have on YouTube, but also transferring that content. So, you know, it's funny. I have something called TA in 20. TA in 20, it's called Take Action in 20 Minutes. What are some things that you can do very quickly within 20 minutes to move forward? You'll find that's something that I teach to help those of you out there looking to be productive. So I had a TA in 20 experience where I just literally went on my computer, I went into my folder called videos, and I just sat there and watched videos that are on YouTube that are not on Facebook. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take 3 of these videos and upload them to Facebook. I might as well. For the people who didn't see them on YouTube, let's put it on a different platform, right? How amazing is that? How amazing is you taking 20 minutes to go into your folders, go into your notebooks, go into your social streams, and just fill up on you, fill up on the things that you've created. Remind yourself of that good, and then share it. Share that awesome content with people that you may surprise yourself. You go back and you watch and go, oh girl, this was good. This was some good stuff, right? You don't always have to create new. A smart way to create amazing is by consistently going back and sharing the good that you've created from before. Now, the glow up is real right now as I'm out here with y'all. So I need to do a pat. I need to do a pat, because the glow up is seriously real, and I didn't bring my water outside. But it's all right. I was supposed to do this at 7 o'clock in the morning, y'all, but it didn't happen. It did not happen. So here I am with you at either close to or after 12, doing something I was supposed to do at 7 o'clock this morning. But one of my favorite quotes is, I know I'm late, but hopefully I'm right on time. And for me, I think that's the essence of catching up. Even though you may feel like you're a little bit late, you always create things that are timely so it feels like you are right on time. Amen? I think that's the key to doing what you need to do right now. So I encourage you to think about, number one, a timely message that you can share with your audience right now. And feel free to drop that in the comment box. If this is an aha moment for you and you go, oh my gosh, as soon as I'm done listening to you, I am going to share this because this is timely and I got to give this good to my audience. Drop it here. Sharing is caring. That's number one. Number two, you feel like you're behind. Where are you supposed to be? Go back to your original plan and start there. If you feel like you're a someday Simone and you've been waiting for time to perfectly drop into your lap so you can do the things that you need to do, start the procrastinating challenge, because I want to help you with that. I want to help you do things every single day that are going to help you chip away at your goals. So I said to you, when it comes to being in the place that I want to be, I sit down and I say to myself, well, what's the original plan? What were you supposed to complete? And every single day, I try to do something that's going to help me work on that. I'm not going to tell you that every day is perfect, because some days I Netflix and chill. Right now, I'm binge watching my Gilmore Girls. Don't ask me why. And there's this new dark comedy. It's called Insatiable. Don't ask me why. But some days you need that. Some days you need to Netflix and chill. Some days you need to just kind of reboot the system and recharge. It's okay, right? It's okay to do that. But you know you can identify that you've got a problem when every day is a Netflix and chill day. That's when you've got a problem. One of my favorite quotes is, some people, they're not where they want to be because they choose Netflix over Next Level, they choose Facebook over Focus, and they choose someday I will versus today I must. Sometimes we got to check ourselves. We can't Netflix and chill all the time. We got to choose the focus over the Facebook and do something today versus someday, right? That's the key. So in order for you to do that, outside of the responsibilities that you have, whether responsibilities that you have to take care of for your family, for your business, for your career, for your 9 to 5, carve out some time to knock out something that's going to help you with respect to your plan, the original plan that you said you were supposed to stick to. What's that plan? Because you can't just simply do the day-to-day responsibilities. Oh, I got to do this for the kids. I got to do this for the spouse. I got to do this for my manager. I got to do this for my boss. You got to do the things that are going to help you get to that next level. So when I carve out time and I say, listen, ladies in my circle say they need this done with me experience, I'm going to create it. Now it's created. Literally, you can go onto the website and say, LaShanda, I just signed up. I'm ready to go. I'm excited because you're going to help me work on my project. You're going to help me create an e-course. You're going to help me create an audio series. You're going to help me with my videos. Because by the way, if you need help with your videos, that's one of the different types of projects that I do as part of the Look, Learn, Launch, Done With You program. There are 8 different types. Go there and I can get you up to speed on all the different ways that I can create content with you so that you're not getting to the end of the year going, I haven't finished anything yet. I have nothing to sell. Right? I can help you quickly create quality content as part of the Look, Learn, Launch, Done With You program. The fact that I said, LaShanda, let's get back to the original plan. Let's make sure that we create this. Now we're going to keep it moving. That is the important part for me. That's the important part for me. And so if you find that you're behind because you're looking at what everybody else is doing, you find that you're behind because you keep telling yourself, I'll get to it someday, you're missing the fact that every single day, whether you actually do something or you just remind yourself that, listen, I got to do something this week, you're working on the plan ahead. That's number 2. Last thing that I'm going to share with you, because the glow up is real and baby girl needs some water. Last thing that I'm going to share with you today is I want you to share the work. I want you to share the work. So far I said I want you to share a word of encouragement. Number 1, drop that in the comment box. Number 2, I want you to share where you're supposed to be. If you feel like you're behind, where is there? And number 3, I want you to share the work. I want you to share the work. What does that mean? That means a couple of things. For me, number 1, share what you're working on with your community. You feel like you're behind, share the work. So I am a web designer, number 1, you know that. I am a mentor to women entrepreneurs. I teach money, marketing, and sales. You know that. But here's the deal. What I've come to know, what I've come to learn is that outside of me teaching the technical pieces of building a website and building a business online, I have women in my circle who want the internal pieces of confidence building, of productivity solutions, of focus, of avoiding procrastination, and being in a space where I dig deeper and have these other meaty conversations is me opening up a whole new relationship and experience for my audience. Sharing the work, sharing the process, sharing the struggle. Because I can't simply say, yeah, it's easy to do this and build that and go here and do that. If I'm going to sit here and teach you all these technical pieces and not acknowledge that you stop at the sale, you stop at the content creation, you stop at building because you're afraid, because you're overwhelmed, because you lack confidence, because you keep procrastinating, then I'm not serving you. Because yeah, you can do this and it's so cool and this web tool and it's so easy, and you ain't going to do it because you're like, yeah, girl, this looks good. And then you know what you do? You get off listening to the audio. You get off listening to the live stream. You curl up with your Netflix and you chill. Oh yeah, no, why bother? I'm not doing it today. I can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I tried it before. It didn't work. There's a deeper level. And I got to have a conversation around that too. Because that's hurting you more than knowing the solutions. The solutions don't mean nothing if you don't actually execute and implement, right? Exactly. Jason says exactly. Right? So being in a space where I'm telling you, look, this is what I'm working on. I'm not just working on me teaching you how to do this stuff, but I'm working on creating solutions that are going to help you catch up and creating some creating solutions that are going to help you maintain your momentum, get back on track, stop procrastinating. This is what I'm working on. I'm sharing that. What are you working on? And are you sharing that? Because some of you guys are quietly working on things. I emphasize the word quietly. Quietly working on things, but not patiently, persistently, presently putting that stuff out there and sharing what you're working on with your audience. Because somebody may go and come here and they go, wow, I really struggle with momentum. I really struggle with focus and procrastination. I didn't know you had a 28-day challenge. I want that. I'm going to go to sistersense.com/CUCA, catch up and create amazing today. I want that. Somebody may go, oh, I thought you just built websites. I didn't know that you help people create their own magazines. I didn't know that you can help me create my e-course. I've been struggling with that for the last 3 months. Girl, I'm about to go sign up today. Okay. If you're just sitting on your good, waiting for the right way to do it, or looking at how other people are doing it and feeling like, oh, why bother? They've got all these followers and all this good, and I can never quite do what they are doing. You're doing an injustice to yourself. Share what you're working on. Share the work. Number 1. Number 2, share the work as far as your progress. You've got to share your progress with yourself and with others. What does that mean? There are a lot of you in my circle who are highly driven, just like me. I get that. But guess what? You're beating yourself up because you feel like you're behind and you're not where you need to be, because what resonates highest for you is all the things that are not done. What you need to raise the volume on is all the things that you have done. When was the last time you sat down and created a progress report for yourself? So yesterday, as part of my mastermind, not yesterday, last week as part of my mastermind, I talked about accountability, progress reports, and sticking to your plan, right? And when I had this conversation around sticking to your plan, one of the big things I talked about was creating progress reports. I broke it all the way down to the point where ladies were like, listen, we need you to take everything that you said today and make a worksheet for us so that we can do the progress report exactly how you said it. I was like, okay, it's coming. The progress report worksheet is coming, right? But in that conversation around accountability, one of the biggest things that you need to realize is that, number one, you're not checking in with you so that you can pat yourself on the back, so that you can really take a good look at how you have progressed and check yourself, because maybe you're not as behind as you think you are. Maybe you are exactly where you need to be right now. Maybe you are doing just enough, but you keep beating yourself up because you're not quite where you want to be. You have to embrace the journey, and a part of that is taking a good look about as far as where you are right now. So when I sit back and I go, you know what, LaShanda, I get it. You was tired today. You Netflixed and chilled. You curled up in the corner. You didn't do no work. I get it. But guess what? You did complete your workshops. You did launch your new Look, Learn, Launch Done For You program. You did a web class last week. You're doing a web class this week. You did your accountability call. When I start to look at the things that I've chipped away at, I'm like, okay, this is progress. This is progress. Success isn't just you being in a space where you can say, yay, I'm bringing in them 6 and 7 and 8 figures today. Success is everything that you do to work towards the original plan, the master plan. You being able to stick to that is important. Success is, for me, the young lady who this morning sent me a voice message and said, listen, I was listening to your back on track audio. That helped me so much. I want to thank you. I want to bless you. Blessings and abundance to you and your family today. That for me is success. When ladies check in with me and go, girl, thank you, I needed this today. That for me is success. And then, of course, when I can say, wow, okay, I see I posted these opportunities and these resources, and she downloaded this one and he downloaded that one, and okay, hun, I'm bringing in that revenue consistently. Yes, that's success, right? You've got to be able to create a progress report for yourself, but not just for yourself. Create a progress report for others so that you can share the work. Share the work with your audience. There are a lot of entrepreneurial spirits out there who create progress reports that they publicly share with their community. Number one, it gets people excited about working with them because they're like, oh, wow, you did this, you went here, you worked with that person. I want to work with you too. When you share your progress report in one way, shape, or form, that's going to motivate and create an energy where you're so happy and feeling so blessed and so in the right space. You're not behind, you're right on time with what you're doing. That creates a kind of energy where people see that in you and they want that energy too, which is why they want to work with you. Sometimes people don't want to work with me simply because I can help them create an amazing website or create a digital product, but because they see the light, they see the love, they see the consistency, they see the energy, and they want to work with me so that they can rub on me, whether it be physically or virtually, and get some of that too. You sharing your progress report motivates others to want to work with you. So I talk about a lot of my entrepreneurial sheroes and heroes that do just that. I'm sure you can identify people in their circle where they share, the tools they use, the amount of revenue they bring in, the amount of reach they have, the amount of followers they got in. They're consistently sharing that with you so that they're keeping themselves on track, but they're motivating you to the psychology behind sales go, ooh, they're awesome. I want to work with them too, right? So share what you're working on. Share your progress reports. Last but not least, share the work. Share the work. It's a lot of work that needs to be done, hun, for you to get to where you want to be. And sometimes the responsibility of all that you have to do is weighing down on you so much that nothing is coming through the way you want it to. You're tired. You're fatigued. You're frustrated. I get that, which means you need to share the work. You need to share the work. Who can help you? Who can support you so you can balance things out? I'm going to give you a great example of that. In my home, and it's so funny because I'm about to say my hubby, and he is actually turning the corner. I live in a cul-de-sac. So literally, he's driving in, which is so great because I need to run errands. So In my home, I share the work with my hubby. There's so many things that he does that I possibly couldn't even imagine doing. And it's such an amazing blessing to have somebody I can share the work with. When you feel like you are behind, you've got to be able to be in a space where you can balance out and share the work with somebody. Who can you share the work with? Whether you have somebody doing some of the things that you can't do to help balance out, or you have somebody who can complement you, right? I always talk about my hubby. He's my perfect person. Even when he drives me crazy, I call him my perfect person. As he's walking up the stairs and rolling his eyes like, you're going to cuss me out in 5 minutes and you telling him I'm your perfect. Just because I cuss you out don't mean you're not my perfect person. Okay? As he, ooh, can you give me some water? Yeah. Thank you. Woo, this is why he's my perfect person, because I needed some water right now. Find your perfect people that can complement you in both your personal and your professional. It's so important. You feel like you need to catch up, right? Share the work. So one of the things that I said to you today is I launched the Look, Learn, Launch Done With You program so that we can share the work. You're sitting here and you're trying to figure out how to get clear about creating your content, how to do that e-course, how to create that workbook, how to create the sales pages. I had a client, she called me and she said, LaShanda, look, I love your clarity call page. I love how people can go to callme.sistersense.com and book a call with you. I need my clients or my potential clients to take me seriously. I need you to help me. So literally one of the packages that I have as part of the Done With You program is me helping you put together your hire me pages. So your call me page, your work with me page, your book me page, we can work that out. Or maybe even your service page, because there are things that you need to do and you need somebody who can work with you to help you get that done in your personal and also in your professional. Now, I'm going to actually drink some water in a second, because I'm so thirsty. But I'm going to go back into the new normal worksheet, well, the workbook, so I can talk to you about personal and professional a little bit more. So while I'm drinking on this water, feel free to share, based on what I've talked about with you today, something that you are going to share with your audience. Feel free to drop that in the comment box, and then I will continue the last part of this conversation about sharing the work in 2 seconds. Not dribbling on myself, y'all. So, of course, he decides to give me the water that's ice and not water. So nothing is coming out. I love him. He's like, it's hot. I need to give her the water that was in the freezer. And it's all ice. Okay, let me see how I can get some of this water out, because I'm thirsty. It's like, I feel like right now... Is it a squirrel in, what is that movie, Ice Age? And he's trying to get that acorn. And he's so trying to get that acorn. In every episode, he just can't get it. I feel like a squirrel trying to get a nut right now. I'm basically a dehydrated woman trying to get some water. Melt, I say. Okay. Oh, bless God. Water is life, for real. My mother, I went 10 days last week, and my mother was like, you are drinking too much water. You are going to overflush your kidneys. I was like, I've never heard of somebody telling somebody they drinking too much water. I don't know if that's a thing. Health nuts, let me know. Is it a thing to drink too much water? I love my water. She's like, you're going to flush out your kidneys. I was like, I thought that was a good thing. I don't know. See what happens when you get hot and dehydrated and you need to take your behind back inside in the house with the essential air and quiet and calm. I do love the porch though, which is why sometimes I try to do these sessions with y'all on the porch. And forgive me, because I think that I'm missing some of your I think I'm missing some of your messages. But Marcia says progress report for myself. Awesome. Good. I need to drink some more water. But as you say that, Marsha, I mentioned to you guys that, well, for those of you who are part of the Accountability Circle, my mastermind, one of the requests was, because I broke down how to put together a progress report for yourself and your business. Some ladies were like, can you make this into a worksheet? The worksheet is coming. Now, if you're not a part of the mastermind and the Accountability Circle, you can literally get access to the Accountability Circle and my beginner level mastermind for 1 year. It's $97 for the whole year. That's not a normal thing. That's a now thing. And information about that you can find when you go to citizensense.com/CUCA, which is Catch Up and Create Amazing. So one of the things that I do with the ladies in my circle is I consistently have webinars and live calls, and now I'm having these accountability calls on top of the webinars and mastermind calls, so I can check in with you consistently at least twice a month to make sure that you're doing the things that you say that you want to do, so you're consistent and you're not falling too behind. Again, the worksheets are coming for those of you who are part of the Accountability Circle, but if you're not and you'd like to learn more about it, when you go to sistasense.com/CUCA, and I'll say that again, SistaSense, SISTASENSE, that is me, sistasense.com/CUCA, you'll see that one of the resources there is the 1 year pass to the Mastermind Accountability Circle, if you're not a part of that community, because I'm always making sure that I can do what I can do to serve you better, and to motivate you to stay on top of what you need to do. Oh my God. So amazing. Woo. So amazing. Okay. Water is life. Okay, no, the ants can't get my water. No water for the ants. Okay. The glow up is real, y'all. Okay. Whew. The breeze. Oh my God. I said the breeze. Whew. I just felt a good breeze, y'all. Now, this is the first web class I'm doing around this conversation around Catch Up and Create Amazing. And one of the things that I want to do is talk to you about different things that you can do to be practical around that conversation. And one of the things I'm going to talk about, not so much today, but I just kind of want to precursor it, is I want to talk to you about listening to the angels. I believe that certain messages, motivational messages, come into our lives in divine right timing. And oftentimes you'll hear me quote this and quote that because I love quotes. And one of the amazing women in my circle, Lynette Crosby, she came into my life a few years ago, and she says, the angels speak to me. And it's such a beautiful way to describe getting messages in divine right timing. So this morning when I was waking up and going, I don't want to get up, I just want to sleep a little bit more, and did that work and that didn't work, and I'm tired of this, and I got that message from the young lady who said, before I get on my prayer line, I just want to say thank you so much for the message you sent out yesterday. You are encouraging us, you're challenging us, you're pushing us women, and I want to make sure that I say, bless you and your family, and bless the expansion in your territory. That was angelic. That was angelic. When I wake up, or when I scroll and I see something that says, abundance is coming to you today, declare it, claim it, take it in. As I say that to me, I'm sharing that with you. Claim that, right? That's listening to the angels. And I am inspired by constantly when I talk to my friend and my client, Lynette, and she's shared with me how she's incorporated that into her heart and her life, and how for me that's a beautiful way to be conscious of when you're trying to catch up, how you can reduce the volume on the voices internally or externally that cause you to doubt yourself and procrastinate. You want to do it, but something is saying, go back to bed, sleep a little bit more, it's not going to work, it didn't work before. When those whispers come in, listen for the angels. Because some people, they don't hear it. Some people, they don't hear it. Sometimes God comes to us like that breeze that just came in when I needed a little bit of cool, natural air conditioning. Sometimes we get support. We get we get something that's going to help push us to do something that will ensure we are sticking to the plan and moving towards success. But sometimes the volume of negativity and low vibrational things are so high that we find it hard to see and hear the angels working for us and quietly motivating us as we go. Now, I'm going to talk about that in another conversation when I share that in more detail, but that breeze was so good. I had to take a moment to just kind of stop and reflect on the goodness that is my Lord and Savior and the natural air conditioning that he just gave to me. Amen. A nice breeze on a hot day is the perfect natural air conditioning. So let's go back into the New Normal workbook. Like I mentioned, the New Normal Life Design Guide is one of the resources that I've created and shared with you as part of the Catch Up and Create Amazing series. You can literally click on the link that says Create Your Own Catch Up Kit, and you'll be able to see and download and access some of these resources. Choose the ones that you feel resonate and will work best for you right now. So I said to you in this conversation with sharing the work, you want to think about for yourself, where do you need support? So I'm going to go to one page in this book that I love. I'm going to read it out because I don't know how well you can see it right now. But this is one page in this workbook. This is the New Normal Life Design Guide. When I sat down and thought about the different things that I did in my life to transition from living in New York, being in an apartment, working to a 9-to-5 job, to working for myself, living in North Carolina, going from the apartment life to being a homeowner, being a full-time work-at-home entrepreneurial mommy, all the things that I did to create new normals in my life, I documented so I can develop the New Normal Life Design Guide series. Now, on this page, there are different steps that you need to take. This is the plan now step, because one of the things I said to you today is that if you want to catch up, you got to go back to your original plan. If you don't have one or you need to zhuzh it up, one of the things that I do with you inside of the guide is help you work on your plan. So on this page, it says, remember, when creating a solid plan, take a look at what you have versus what you need. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. So when I talk to you about sharing the work, this activity here is going to allow you to really reflect on how much work you can get done for yourself versus where you feel you're lacking, you're missing things, and you need support, right? If you've got the workbook, great, go back to it. If you don't have it, remember the New Normal Life Design Guide, the audio series, and the printable workbook is one of several resources that I have for you as part of the Catch Up and Create Amazing series, which you can find at sistasense.com/CUCA. If somebody can drop that into the comment box for me today, that would be awesome. Sister Sense, that's me, SISTASENSE.com/CUCA. This is the New Normal Life Design Workbook. So, get specific. What resources do you have versus need to get started? First thing, what do you have versus what do you need as far as resources are concerned, right? So I've created spaces for you here to take this opportunity to reflect on these questions and fill them out. And what I love about the printable version is that you can just keep printing out the pages as needed, okay? So when I talk to you about sharing the work, because I am a content creator, because I'm an infopreneur, these are things that I do literally as part of my Done With You program. I can share the work with you and help you create content. Before we even get there, you got to sit down and get clear about where you need support. So when it comes to your resources, number one, what are resources that you have versus resources that you need? That's one question you need to ask yourself. The next question, get specific. Who do you know versus need to know to get started? So you're thinking about, like I said to you, this conversation is around catching up and creating amazing. If you feel like you're behind, if you feel like you need to catch up and get back on track, who can support you in that? Who do you know that you can directly access to help support your plans versus who do you need to know to get back on track? So One of the things that I said to you at the very beginning is I need you to consider in this conversation of catching up, sharing a word of encouragement, sharing a message, sharing content with your audience that is timely and relevant based on where they are right now. So even if you're a little bit late, you're right on time by sharing timely, relevant information. Now, because the kiddies are going back to school, I love to talk about getting back on track and getting back to business. Traditionally, this is the time of year that I do this. So even if you haven't seen me before, or you don't really get to see me a lot on live stream, I can catch up and get right back into the conversation by always making sure to be timely and relevant with respect to the communication that I share with you. Okay? So the thing that I want you to do is to think about for yourself, number one, when you get specific, what resources you have versus what you need. Number two, when you get to specific, who do you know versus who you need to know. So when it comes to the back to business time of year for me, it's kind of a tradition, a brand tradition that I have a virtual conference in October. I have to get my speakers ready, which is something that I'm doing right now, because ladies are like, literally, LaShanda, are you doing back to business? Yes, I'm doing back to business. I do it every year, right? So who do I know? Who I'm like, listen, you got to be a speaker. You're a speaker every year. I love you. I love your good. Versus who do I need to know? Who am I going to introduce myself and say, I would love for you to be one of the new Power Circle experts. I love what you do. I follow you. Let's work together. Let's collaborate, right? Who do you know versus who do you need to know that's going to help you stick to your plan? Because making sure that I'm consistent about doing my back to business virtual conference every year, that is my plan. When you feel like you're behind and you're off track, go back to your plan. What are you supposed to be doing right now? What do you need to start? What do you need to continue? What do you need to complete to stick to your plan? Whether you're having whispers in your head that are throwing you off course, or life has thrown you off course, how can you get back on the horse and get back to the original plan? Last thing here, get specific. What skills do you have versus need to get started? So you write down the things that you have versus the things that you need. Literally, you can do this for yourself if you've just got a piece of paper or a napkin and you want to write this down and reflect and process on this page of the plan for yourself. But again, this is a part of the New Normal workbook that I've developed as part of my series on how to create new normals in your life and in your business. And you can literally get access to the New Normal Life Design Guide on the resource page, Catch Up and Create Amazing, which again is at sistersense.com/CUCA. Okay, that's one of the resources that I want to share with you today as far as the Catch Up, Create Amazing experience is concerned. So I'm going to quickly recap these, and as I do that, feel free to share, drop in the comment box your answers to some of these questions. When it comes to the original plan, number one, what was the original plan? You feel like you're behind. What are you behind on? What are you supposed to be working on and completing? Whether you're watching live or via the replay, feel free to drop into the comment box and share that with me, with you, with the universe. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my plan. Put it out there. When it comes to your original plan, let's get clear. What do you have versus need as far as resources? Woo! The wind is blowing my good away. Woo. One of my neighbors was like, oh, I love your foliage. It's so great. I was like, thank you. But really, the credit goes to Michael's because I do not have a green thumb. So pretty much everything that you see on my porch is some fake foliage that is colorfully beautiful that I've paid for. Side note, random note, but let's get back on track. When it comes to sticking to the original plan, I need you to think about for yourself, number one, as far as resources, what you have versus what you need. Feel free to drop that into the comment box or just simply to make note of that for yourself. Number two, who do you know versus need to know? That is number two. And last but not least, number three, what skills do you have versus skills that you need to have to work towards your goals? What are those skills? What do you need to get better at? So like I said to you, bless God, my web class was supposed to be at 7 o'clock this morning. It started at 11. Listen, I'd rather be late than not here at all. But that's a skill that I've got to work on, you know, that doing it early at the crack of dawn. I want you to remember, if you are an entrepreneur looking to boost your skills, you've got to be consistent and you've got to stick with the plan. So, as I always share with you, you want to make sure that you start where you are, use what you can, and let me say that again. I was listening to myself up here versus just reading it from here. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Okay? Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. As you can see, I got all these little random Post-its here. The New Normal Workbook is one of my favorite good goods to share with you, especially for those of you who are looking to catch up. So that is it. Thank you so much for being here and just being in a space where I have the opportunity to share some of my good when it comes to supporting you and helping those entrepreneurial spirits out there who feel like they're behind get better at catching up and creating amazing. So make sure that, of course, if you're watching the replay, you interact as well, because I love to connect, drop into the comment box, answer those questions, reflect on some of these questions for yourself as well. And most importantly, remember that you should always, as an entrepreneur, always have something to say, have something to share, and have something to sell. The best example I can share with you of that is the CUCA page at sistersense.com/CUCA. So literally, you can take a page out of my virtual book and see how I strategically say things, share things, and sell things on my platform. If you can glean some of that and kind of utilize some of that into what you do today, awesome. And of course, if you need me to support you, I've got those support resources there for you as well. Don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. You can email sistersense@gmail.com. And of course, when you are on the sistersense.com website, you can click that gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. All right. So either way, whether it be a voice message, a clarity call, an email, or a web class, one way, shape, or form, I'm going to make sure that I can do my best to consistently support you and share a dose of daily direction with you. Mwah. Alrighty, my dears, take care.